And finally, with us now, a member of our i24NEWS family at home in South Africa visiting loved ones, Bonita Levine. Bonita, thank you so much for being with us. First, tell me, if you can, about the atmosphere where you are now in Durban as Omicron cases do spread across that city, across the country.
Well, Jeff, I can call it shock and surprise. People here in South Africa are mildly stunned by the news that the detection of this virus has prompted a travel ban right as the tourism sector is getting ready for what is known here as the festive season. December and January for the country are so important for an industry which has taken such a massive knock. And people here are asking the question, in official channels and even anecdotally, people socially are saying, why is it that South Africa and other neighbors are facing this travel ban right now? Because scientists here were the first to put their hands up and say, we have identified this new variant, particularly when there are reports this variant is already in Belgium, for example, other parts of the Northern Hemisphere. There is a big question of literally why punish, and that is the exact words used by the Foreign Affairs Ministry here. Why punish a country for putting its hands up, for having scientists who found this new variant and saying you are the ones who are going to suffer right on the brink of a very important time for the tourist industry?
Yeah, that's a big sense, you know, to borrow the phrase, punishing the messenger. I mean, it was the South African talented scientists who sequenced Omicron, but did not originate there. Nevertheless, this is the situation, Bonita, we find ourselves in. We miss you here. You're there now. What was your game plan to come back to Israel?
Well,
and now what are you faced with? What might you do now?
Well, the game plan, Jeff, was very simply to come and see family that I hadn't seen for around 2.5 years, thanks to the pandemic. And we are all fully vaccinated. From the Israeli side, we obviously have had boosters as well, and we saw the gap as a time to come when the numbers in South Africa were particularly low. The situation seemed to be out of control. In fact, in the newsroom, 24 hours before we left, the areas of concern were Austria, Italy, and Germany. There was no mention of the Southern Hemisphere. So the thinking was to come to see loved ones, as I say, reunion of sorts, and to come and spend time. It looks like we are now going to be spending a lot of family time, and I'm very grateful actually to have family here to be with at this time of uncertainty when it isn't really clear how long it's going to take before we are able to get onto flights, before we are able to fly out of the country. But I do need to add that being with loved ones and family is a very lucky scenario. We are hearing stories here of people who were set to come out for a wedding in Cape Town in a couple of days' time. All the guests are unable to get here. The ones who are coming through from Europe are not able to get to the wedding. The wedding has been cancelled, well, hopefully in their case postponed. But the issue is that a lot of people are facing very, very difficult times, not having a place to stay if they can't get out the country. And the question, of course, is how dangerous is the situation? And that question has not yet been answered. It is a case of waiting.
Bonita, we certainly miss you here, and we hope to see you soon.